Welcome to the Pay Yourself First podcast. My name is Chris Jolly, and I'm on a mission to financially empower millions of entrepreneurs. I want you to make and keep more money so that you can begin implementing and turbocharging a plan for creating financial freedom your way during the life cycle of your current business without spending a ton of time or becoming a professional investor. You see, most of the financial teachings out there are made for employees, not entrepreneurs. If you wouldn't listen to someone who doesn't have kids about parenting, why take business financial advice from someone without a business? Are you ready to break free of bad advice and follow the trail of other uncommon entrepreneurs so you can get from where you are now to the lifestyle you were aiming to create when you started your business? Then stick around. Here comes another episode of Pay Yourself First, where the only investment we offer is the one you make in yourself. Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. I am excited as always because we have another amazing entrepreneur on. His name is Germaine and his company is Bountiful Payment Processing. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you today?
I'm doing amazing, Chris. How are you doing, brother?
I am doing super good. Thank you. I really appreciate you taking some time out of the day to come on and speak with me and share all your knowledge to the audience. Thank you so much.
I'm grateful and honored to be here. Excited to add some value and talk some entrepreneurship. It's one of my favorite subjects by far. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure to have you on, and I'm just really excited for everything you're going to share. Tell me about Bountiful Processing and where the idea started and where you're at now.
Yeah, absolutely. So just to give you kind of some background, I grew up and went through some hard stuff with family. I know I've listened to a couple of your podcasts and know that a lot of people struggle with abuse and different things that they went through in the past. My mom got divorced a couple of times, and I was just that shy kid growing up. I was definitely as pretty much introverted as you can possibly get. Didn't really find my voice, or I didn't really understand the value of relationships. And so I was just that quiet kid in the back, just head down a little bit, very little confidence, low self-esteem. And it took a great deal of just individuals in my life to get me out of that rut that I was in and out of that mindset. And I realized that being an introvert, it's just a mindset. I realized that growing up, the reason I was an introvert is because I was just so comfortable in my little comfort zone, right? And so entrepreneurship is, of course, the opposite of that. We hear all the time over and over again, get comfortable being uncomfortable. And so just about 2 or 3 years ago, one of my really good friends, he was living right above me at the time. I was talking to him about my job. I was working for E-Trade at the time. And I don't know if anybody remembers 2020. Everybody and their dog decided to open up a brokerage account. And at E-Trade, us taking the phone calls, people were waiting on the line for 1 to 2 hours just to talk with us. So we were getting cussed out pretty much every single day. And yeah, it was just pretty bonkers. And so I was talking to my friend a bit about that. And he's like, hey, you know what? We actually have an opportunity where I work. And he at the time was a business coach for a company called Wealth Factory. And they basically help business owners with tax strategy, cash flow, wealth strategies, life insurance, estate plans, pretty much everything across the board. And he's like, we'll train you, give you everything you need. And so it was an incredible opportunity. And so I jumped on it in a heartbeat. I did that for about 3 or 4 months. By far, the most amazing thing I've ever done in my life, getting to speak with business owners. Business owners are just incredible. They're busy. They got a lot going on, but for the most part, you just meet the most incredible individuals that you don't get to meet in the job world, I guess you could say. Yeah, I did that for about 3 to 4 months. And I realized from that point in time that that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, is just work with business owners, make those incredible connections, get out of my comfort zone every single day, and just add value as much as possible is what it's all about. And so fast forward to last year, I was able to start networking with some incredible individuals, more than I ever had before. And I was able to network with an individual that has his own ISO, or independent sales organization. He runs payments for several big businesses, billions of dollars a year. And he built this system to allow other individuals to build their processing company below his, so as not to reinvent the wheel. And so I started that, and it was amazing. It's very passive. There's not a lot of work to do. You just get somebody set up. Once they start processing, you just get a small portion of the volume that comes in each month. And it's just been an incredible opportunity to work with business owners. I call myself a super connector. And I guess what that means is I'm building up a Rolodex of people. And every single time I come into contact with a business owner, I say, hey, you do this. I have this person and this person that do something similar. I think there could be a lot of synergy for you guys to chat. maybe shoot referrals back and forth. Maybe there's a strategic partnership that could come from that. Yeah, that's just something that I learned that just adds so much value right up front, which is something I struggled with, especially when I first got into business.
Yeah, the power of relationships in business is so key. It's so true what they say. It's not always about what you know, but it can just be about who you know. What do you say to entrepreneurs looking to leverage more of the power of relationships and how they can use that to grow their business?
Oh man, I love that question a lot. When people first start out their business, a lot of people will ask me, I see it all the time. They start out their business, they're like, hey, how do I get more clients? What can I do? Like, I've tried marketing, I've spent lots of money, and people just struggle to get clients. The key, at least I think for 99% of businesses, is strategic relationships. And when I first started my payments company, I would reach out to people. I was like, hey, I could save you money on your payment processing, give you better service, help you save time. And so it's just reaching out, and nobody likes a sales pitch right up front. And so I started reaching out to people, and I was like, hey, I would love to network with you. I love sending referrals to people. I made it a goal this year to send at least 1,000 solid referrals to people within my network. So far, I'm at 250, maybe a little bit more than that. And so just that value that can create, I don't ask for anything in return. It's a no obligation conversation. Let's just chat, see what we have going on, see if there's some synergy. Maybe my payments company is a good fit for you to work with. Maybe it's not, but nonetheless, let's just chat, see what we can do to help each other grow. And if more people came into conversations like that, just think of how much better the world of entrepreneurship could be.
Absolutely. And I know that's something that you're really passionate about now. You've got a startup coming up around that as well. Can you share any more details on that?
Yeah, it's my baby. I at the beginning of this year is when I had an epiphany, and that's never really happened to me before in my life. I'm a very religious person. I love God, and I think God is the best business partner that you can have. But I never really felt him working through me up until this year, which is weird to say. But literally on January 1st, I had an epiphany of a startup that I needed to do centered all around referrals. That's the time I was connecting with a ton of people. I read the book Go Giver, which if you guys haven't read that, it's an incredible book to know the power of relationships. And so I don't want to give away too much because I've had people sign an NDA where we're looking to just start from the ground up right now with building out an app. But essentially what it's going to be is a lot of businesses and individuals that I met with, they told me, if you send me a referral, I'll give you a kickback commission if they end up closing. And so you hear that all the time with people. And so essentially what it's going to be is a referral based app where people can go on, look at a company, and let's say that company pays a 10% commission off of what they do. And you're like, okay, cool. I'll send you a referral. If they close, I'll get a kickback commission. So essentially that's what it is. We're making it very much more robust than that. But just, I don't know, the value that can create, because referrals are so important. That's the main way that businesses get their work and their leads, because referrals are just so much better than cold leads. So yeah, that's essentially what it's going to be, and it's super exciting.
Very cool. I look forward to hearing more about that in the future and checking out when it comes out. Now, tell me, what would you say is the biggest financial constraint in your business right now?
Yeah, great question. Definitely one of the biggest for me, at least at the moment. And it's something that just comes with time. A lot of businesses aren't going to be super profitable right up front, but yeah, it's just been cash flow. It hasn't been cash flowing as much as I'd like. With payment processing, you get a very small percentage of what the businesses do, and it's a lot smaller for me than other companies. Say Stripe or Square, those companies charge 2.9 to 3.4%, and I usually charge around 2.3 to 2.4% on average for businesses that want to go that route. So it's not the most profitable, but of course you get a business doing $1 million+ a month, and that can bring in quite a bit of cash. But it's crazy what can be done just through, like I said, going back to relationships. Just to give you an example of that, I started getting a couple of investors in my, what I like to call Rolodex of business owners or network. And I realized that there's a lot of people that need investors for their business. There's so many startups out there. So I came across a startup. The name of it is called Debunk. It's really cool AI software, fact checker, fact checks articles, news. And they told me right up front, they're like, hey, if you can find us an investor, we'll give you $50,000 cash or 1.5% equity in our company. And so I was able to link up an investor with them, and it's going really well so far. I don't know anything about investing. I don't know anything about startups really, besides what I've done recently. And just being that mediator person in the middle to link people up. It's crazy how much value can be created through that. So yeah, it's a work in progress as with any startup, but I'm very optimistic for the future.
Amazing. Love it. And that's just the power of referrals right there. Now, what's your biggest personal financial goal right now?
Great question. So with my startup that I'm doing with a couple of my buddies, like I mentioned, in the first year, our goal is to hit $1 million in revenue. And that's a year from the time that it. But aside from that, I'm looking to hit $15,000 to $20,000 a month with my payment processing company. A lot of people would say that once you hit that mark, once you hit over $10,000, it can just create so much freedom, especially if you're not acting as an employee in your business. Because if you start a business just to be an employee, I mean, it's not much different than working a job. That 10,000 mark is really when it can start making a huge impact on your everyday life. Spend time with family, travel, do everything you want to do.
Now, aside from the actual number itself, what does financial freedom look like to you? Let's say you've gotten to that point where you are making enough income that you can step away from the business and don't have to be in it day to day doing the operational stuff, and your time is your own again. How are you going to spend it then?
I don't think that anybody just wants to sit around and do nothing all day. I feel like that happens to a lot of people that retire. They think that once they retire, they've made it, they're done. And a lot of people just sit there, do nothing. And a lot of people end up dying pretty soon after that because they don't really have a role. They don't really have something that drives them, something that motivates them. What I am doing right now, I feel like I've been able to balance work and life. I have a couple of kids, one on the way next month, like I mentioned. And I'm able to take a day every now and again to just spend with them, go out, do things that job people can't do every day during the week. And so I think that's what it's all about. It's all about people. That's just what it comes down to. People are amazing. And when you wake up every morning, you just have to realize it's not about you. It's about your family. It's about your friends. And I say a prayer every night and every morning, look for opportunities to serve those around me or somehow add value. And it's crazy when you pray for something like that or look for those opportunities, they come up. You find them so much more than if you didn't think about it consistently. And so that's what I think freedom is. It's just people. It's growing relationships. It's helping people. It's helping them because life is hard. Life is challenging. People go through hell and back. That's just what it comes down to at the end of the day, just helping people.
Jordan, I'm not surprised that the answer to you went back to people and relationships. I think I saw that coming.
Yep. I'm very passionate about it, as you can tell. So
Absolutely. Now tell me, what is your biggest initiative inside of your business right now? The one thing you're really geared up to get accomplished?
Oh, yes. Definitely my goal right now. Like I mentioned, I'm doing a lot of stuff. I'm actually creating another business with my brother centered around helping startups with their pitch decks, blueprints, financial strategy, stuff like that. It's coming back again to people. It's just too good. Strategic partnerships is what it's all about. For example, with my payment processing company, last year, towards the end of last year, I connected with a coaching company. They're called Next Gen Coaching, incredible individuals. They do branding and leadership coaching for big businesses. They also do some organic marketing, stuff like that. And so they started using me for payment processing. And long story short, we found that there was a really good fit for me to be on their team and partner with them. So they host 8 different conferences throughout the year geared towards getting to the next level in life and in business. And they were looking for somebody to find individuals to speak on their stage. And so every single person on their team is a business owner, which is amazing because it really helps towards their mission and vision. And so that's what I do. I get to meet people every day, see if they're a good fit to potentially speak on stage. And it really just goes hand in hand with what I'm doing already. A year or two ago, I got into a bad streak of shiny object syndrome. If you don't know what that is, it's just you come across lots of opportunities. And I was just that person that's, oh, that looks really cool over there. Let's go over there. And then I found another one the next week, basically. And so I was just hopping around and I spread myself too thin a little bit. But I'm doing a lot now, but the difference is everything that I'm doing just goes hand in hand. It's all centered around making strategic partnerships. And the more partnerships you can make, the more successful you're going to be. I guess an analogy with that is a horse can pull up to 8,000 pounds, but if it has another horse beside it, it can pull up to 3 times that weight, basically. So it can pull like 24,000 pounds. So it's just going back to that, teaming up with people if it makes sense. And you can get a lot more work done if you do that.
Yeah, and that's leverage right there for you. Now, any parting words or advice out there, Jordan, for entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs alike?
Yeah, just it's going to sound redundant. Just look to add value to every single person you come in contact with. And that value is going to come back to you every single time. Even if you don't ask for anything, like, if you talk with somebody and you just want to help them without asking anything in return, that value will come back to you every single time. And so we need more of that. We don't need any more sales. We don't need any more spam and that kind of stuff. We need more authentic people building relationships.
Yep, 100%. I'm with you there. Very cool, Jordan. Just thank you again for coming on, taking the time out of your day, and for speaking to us and the audience. It's been a real pleasure.
Absolutely. Grateful to be here, man. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yeah, now for anybody looking to connect with you or find out more about what you do, where's the best place to go for that?
So I'm really big into Facebook. You can search me, Jordan Germaine, or Bountiful Payment Processing. Connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm pretty active on there as well. So yeah, those are the main platforms that I have.
Excellent. Wonderful. Thanks again for taking the time and coming on. And to everybody out there, if you're listening and enjoy the podcast, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't yet. You can leave us one of those awesome 5-star reviews if you get a chance as well. And if you are a 6-figure plus entrepreneur like our amazing guest today, and you want to come on and share your valuable insights and wisdom, just like Jordan did here today, we would absolutely love to talk to you.
Go to pyfpodcast.com. That's the letters pyfpodcast.com.
We would love to speak to you. Jordan, thanks once again.
If you've listened this far, chances are you're an entrepreneur looking to become more financially literate and create financial freedom for yourself from your business.
The Pay Yourself First podcast.
It's definitely here to help with that. My goal is to continue to share what I've learned about using your business as the tool to create financial freedom. But let's face it, it would take me years to share with you everything you need to know via these episodes. Creating financial freedom is something that most people never even consider, let alone make a plan for or take action towards. It's something almost no one was taught anything about. Doing it as an entrepreneur is even more challenging, especially without support. So if you're ready to get clear on what financial freedom looks like for you, come up with an action plan, and get the support systems and accountability you need, I invite you to consider the Abundantly Infinite Entrepreneur. I created the program to help entrepreneurs just like you get a handle on their personal and business finances and start building confidently towards financial freedom. And it's how you can discover ways to take 10 years off your retirement, add an extra 5 or 6 figures to your portfolio, and finally get clear on what numbers you should be tracking in your business and why. Together, we'll gain clarity around your financial goals and what being financially free would actually look like for you. Then we'll put together a customized game plan to get you there and the accountability to see you through. And by the way, you're also going to get all the spreadsheets you need to run your numbers, lifetime access to the materials, including any updates, and entry into our members-only community. In addition to all the knowledge, coaching, community, and systems that you need to create financial freedom from your business, you'll also receive a free financial assessment, a retirement planning session, and guided meditation aimed at helping you embody the feeling of true financial freedom. So yeah, you can just listen to the free content on these podcasts to help you move towards becoming a financially free entrepreneur. And sure, you'll likely see some results, or you can make the decision to commit to learning, implementing, and embodying what you need to know to create the financially free life you dreamed of when you started your business journey. Click the link in the show notes to answer a quick questionnaire, and you'll be on your way to joining the Abundantly Infinite Entrepreneur.